Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome.
Children
Of all ages.
Okay, no, you're not supposed to you can't steal that.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, it's right there on the tip of the tongue. Like you kind of
No.
have to.
You weren't even
Can't-
going to say it.
Can't do it.
All right. You know what? Let's
Can't do it.
restart. Let's restart this. Go ahead, Craig.
No, we're not
All
gonna
yours,
restart
Craig.
this. All I'm gonna say is welcome to another episode of Sports Bets,
Boring.
but mostly chaos. If you don't know already, I'm Craig.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Benny.
And I'm Jason.
All right. Well, as always, we got plenty to dive in and get into. It's been 2 weeks since the last show, so probably a little chunk of content we got to go over, and lots of things have happened in the world of sports since the last time we have been in touch with all of you. So we're going to throw things off actually into the NHL world right now. No games going on with the off season, but some more contract signings have been going on. And without further ado, Ben, take it away.
This is when the viewers will just, fast
Yeah,
forward a
Chris,
little
you
bit
can go ahead and fast forward through this little clip. So just a few signings going on in the last couple of weeks while we were away. Joe Thornton signing with the Florida Panthers. That was kind of a significant one. Going for a $750,000 1-year contract. So he's just looking to have a good team with Florida. We'll see where that goes. Jason Dickinson signed a 3-year, $2.65 million deal with Vancouver. A little surprising there to see him get moved, but I think Vancouver could utilize him pretty well. And with Pekka Rinne moving on to retirement, UC Saros seems like he'll be their go-to guy. So they gave him a 4-year extension worth $5 million per. Not bad for a short goaltender. I gotta give him props. So hopefully he'll pan out to be something pretty useful for them. And then Kevin Fiala has re-signed with the Minnesota Wild for 1 year for just $5.1 million, which is a lot of money for 1 year for that dude, but whatever. Minnesota doesn't like winning. They don't like money. It's cool. The Detroit Red Wings, though, did actually buy out the contract from Franz Nielsen. A little surprising there. Hopefully he can get picked up because he's actually a pretty good player that could be utilized anywhere else except Detroit. So hopefully we'll see him in another uniform this upcoming season and get some opportunities. Travis Sanheim, he signed a 2-year, $4.675 million deal as well with the Flyers. He's a nobody. Anyways, just got to give him a little bit of a bright spot. But then Derek Brassard from the Islanders, he actually signed with the Flyers for 1 year for only $825K. So not looking to. Yeah, he's not really looking to break the bank. He's just trying to get an opportunity to find somewhere that he can prove that he could stick. And then a big signing was Andrei Svechnikov signing with Carolina for 8 years, $7.75 million per. So that'll be a nice chunk of change right there. I think that's a great signing, though. He's going to be a really good player for the future for the Hurricanes, as long as they can keep their team developing in the right direction and don't make too many stupid moves in the next upcoming seasons. Sean Couturier, though, he signed a 8-year, $62 million, so $7.75 million annually with the Flyers. So big name Flyers player. Obviously figured he wasn't going to really go anywhere. Pretty good signing for them. They knew they were going to put a lot of money into him. So hopefully he stays healthy and he can actually produce something for the Flyers, because it seems like they're really trying to make a push this year. And then Henrik Lundqvist, speaking of retirement, actually hung him up after a great career, solid goaltender. But after having the heart surgery during I think it was last off season, and then getting moved over to the Caps, and where he never even played, he actually has to hang him up. So hopefully he'll be some sort of a goaltender development or some scouting or an assistant GM or something like that, just to stick around in New York. But either way, he's just such a well-liked, well-known player. So look for him to get moved or stay. I'm not moved, but moving into the office
Front
version
office.
of hockey. Yeah. So, and then unfortunately, at age 31, Jimmy Hayes passed away suddenly. There's no word on what exactly went down. He was only 31 years old. He, way too young. Just, yeah, it was pretty crazy to see that all over the social media world. So, wishing the Hayes family the best on that. And hopefully, they can figure out what caused it, and hopefully it wasn't anything too crazy like drugs or alcohol or something like that caused it, because you hate to see something like that. But wishing them the best on that, and hoping that they have a just a bounce back from that, because that's the whole Hayes family. He has his brother who plays in the NHL he looks up to, and it's just crazy to see. So yeah, no, not a fan. So anyways, that is it in regards to the NHL. The women's worlds though is going on. So Team USA is playing, and they started off prelims 3-0. So did Team Canada. So they faced off this evening and did not go USA's way. They lost 5-1. So they now sit at 3-1 after round robin play. So we will see who they face off first, but they'll probably walk over. It's just going to be easy enough going through the first round or two. But hopefully USA can win a gold medal and bring that on back from Calgary. So we'll wait and see what happens. But that is it in regards to the hockey world. Not too much to report, nothing too exciting. So hopefully, Christy, you can stop hitting fast forward now.
I'll have to make sure to give her the timestamp of exactly when your bit ended. So
when that was.
They knew to just, move on.
What?
So, all right. Well, Ben, thank you for the updates there. As now we can shift on to a sport that's kind of getting into those dog days of summer. It's kind of going down that last stretch, and that's in MLB action. And two Bay Area teams that really just seem to be going in opposite directions right now. And I'm sure we got some Angels talk in there, Ben. So I'm sure we'll eventually get back to you. But I mean, we might as well just jump right.
No rush, guys. Take your time.
We might as well just jump right into the Oakland A's part of this conversation. And the last time we were on the show, we were just talking about how the A's had swept the Cleveland Indians. They won 17-0, and Chris Bassett, another great start there, and things were looking really good. And from that point, they continued the road trip. They went to Arlington. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Rangers. They went to Chicago. They lost 3 out of 4 there, and probably one of the worst parts of that entire series road trip was the Chris Bassett line drive that hit him in the face. Just not a pleasant thing to see for anybody.
You got a front row seat to that one.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about that is that, so, I'm in Chicago for that series, and, the ball gets hit, and initially I think it hit, it looks like it hit, I knew it hit him up high. I knew it hit him high. And then, but I didn't know. And then I see him hit the ground, and I see he immediately goes to cover his face. And I know it's not good. So, best, I wouldn't say best case scenario, but based on what we saw, it was pretty lucky that it was just, some bones that broke in the face and in the jaw and everything. And he had successful surgery. It looks like he's going to be flying back to the Bay Area tomorrow. But there's obviously no timetable of for sure when he's going to come back. I know that he can, start doing sports activity within a certain, a shorter period of time, but, it's just crazy. Thankfully, nothing vision wise was bad, as well as there was no other concussion symptoms or anything else there. So like I said, I'm not saying best case scenario, but yeah, I guess considering what happened, for the most part, came out, I guess, well. But yeah, so, really crappy, just kind of ended that road trip, especially with the high note they started. They came home, they faced the Giants, and They won the first game on Friday night, and they lost Saturday and Sunday in very similar styles. They blew late leads, pinch hit home runs to Lamonte Wade Jr. Saturday, and then the one to Solano on Sunday, and just that really set a tone, I think, for what we've been seeing. Because then they have the Mariners come to town, they lose Monday, Tuesday, they have a day off yesterday, and here they are. And basically, what I would define to be probably the season-defining series with this 4-game series with the Yankees, in my opinion, I think they at the very, very least split this series. If they lose this series, whether they lose 3 out of 4, if they get swept, I think the season's probably done. And I hate to say that because, there's still, 20, 30 games, 25, I'm sorry, not 20, but, around 30 to 35 games left of the season. But man, just with the teams they're going to have to, they're in front of them and the way they're going to have to fight and pretty much get help from other teams, it's not looking good. So, and and they're losing right now 6-2 to the Yankees in the 3rd inning. So they were down 6-0, but they just got home runs from back to back from Chapman and Murphy. So, I guess if there was one good side to that road trip, the part that I was on is that Chapman hit 5 home runs in those 7 games that I was on the trip. So, but batting average wise, it's still not there, and consistency, still striking out a ton, and I don't think that's going to change. But I guess shout out to you, John or Jason, which one you guys want to go. Just your overall feel, I guess, of just how A's baseball has really looked as of late, and just what your feels are, I guess, going down this last bit of games.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate, they hit a bad stride at the worst possible time because the Yankees are back to the Bronx Bombers. They won 11 in a row coming into this series, 4-game set against the A's, and the Red Sox. They're beating up against weak teams. Minnesota is not a good team at all. They're one of the worst teams in baseball, and they're gonna sweep them. And so you got 2 teams over in the East who pretty much battling for the wild card for that are both just doing everything they can right now to just their offense is hitting their strides, they're scoring runs and bunches, and it's just unfortunate because it's like you're looking at the A's and they're playing the games that they can to win, but it's either the pitching struggles or the hitting struggles or the bullpen struggles, which sucks because the bullpen was one of the best things about us for quite a while, and now they're struggling.
They got angelinitis.
There's nothing really to be too happy about with the A's right now. Really within the last 2 weeks, the best news is that Bassett doesn't have a concussion now. He just got hit in the face. Nothing in the head, nothing that's going to be long term. This isn't going to be like Brandon McCarthy where he got hit in the back of the head and it took him 3 years to get back to pitching because of the concussion. So Bass will be back. He won't be back this year, I don't think, but he'll be back next year. How it's going to feel to still pitch off the mound, knowing what happened to him. I don't know if that's going to get to his head. We'll have to wait and see. But like you said, the A's need to do really well in this set against the Yankees, and it's just unfortunately the Yankees are the hottest they've been in. God, I don't know how long. When's the last time they won 10 in a row? Yeah, they're spending that $400 million that it takes to have a team like that. While the A's, what is it like? They have 1/9 of the Yankees' payroll. So yeah, it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, you guys have pretty much covered it all. Between Bassett doing his best Christian impersonation and hit with the face, which
burn, damn.
Yeah,
it sucks. They're going down. I don't see them making the playoffs. I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but they ran their course, and it's gonna be a slow. What the hell? A slow, painful.
What's this wanker talking about?
yeah.
It's going to be a slow, painful 30 games to finish out the season, and unfortunately, Craig had I think a meme yesterday, or Rist, Marte versus the world basically, and he's likely not going to be back. Olsen, I wouldn't be shocked if he's traded in this offseason. You got to sell high, right? He's having a career year. You got to move him where you run the risk of not getting back what you want. So there's a good possibility they're both not going to be back. I'd probably put that at 80%.
I put it
Again.
at 100.
I'm gonna give it a little bit of hope, but again, not to be Debbie Downer, I just think the A season is, like Craig said earlier, on the ropes with this Yankee series. They need to take at least 3 out of 4, in my opinion, and they're getting smoked tonight.
Yeah.
Boston and Yankees are tearing it up, and there's no way they're catching the Astros. Again, the last few games, it just seems like Marte gets on base, steals a base, steals multiple bases. He's doing everything that he can, but he doesn't have any support around him. And even with the Chapman 5 home runs, whatever it was, his average is still like 220, 230. They just are what they are. And they're running into a gauntlet of a schedule right now, too. So,
yeah, because I think after they get through this 4-game series with the Yankees, they go back on the road. They got 3 games against the Tigers, which the Tigers obviously, they're not like this fantastic team, but they've been playing relatively well and they're competitive. And then after that, they got the Blue Jays in Toronto, and it's time to be good. And they come back home to face the White Sox. So,
Well, I mean, technically they don't have them in Toronto. Is it the AAA park, or are they going to be up in Buffalo?
oh wow, I'm glad that you haven't paid attention to the league, because they've been playing back in Toronto since the end of July. So
yeah, since
No,
like,
I honestly did not know that. I did not know that.
it's funny
with
that
the Delta variants.
It's funny that I got called the slacker before the show started, because I didn't know anything about preseason football yet. This guy doesn't even know the Blue Jays have been playing their home ballpark since the end of July.
Who pays attention to the Blue Jays? I mean, Otani's going to be.
Well, maybe you should, because they're
record.
about to pass the A's, so maybe you should pay a little more attention.
Oh yeah.
Who cares? Who cares who passes the A's?
Who
If it doesn't mean
everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Who cares when?
What? Daddy, stop hitting mom.
Everything's fine.
That ain't right.
I'm kind of shocked they're allowed to play in Toronto with the whole Delta variants bullshit that's going on right now.
Anyways, before us get sidetracked. But no, I mean, I'm really kind of with Jay though, in the fact that I mean, it's probably going to be this really slow, like just kind of painful last stretch of games, and I don't know. I think if you're the A's front office, I mean, I think we could all kind of agree that the moves that they've made at the deadline have probably been the best that they've made in how many years? I mean, Starling Marte is probably no doubt their best player, right?
Sure.
And Josh Harrison, even though, I mean, I don't think he's hitting like anything crazy, but I mean, he brings some excitement. He can play everywhere, and
he's a better Pinder.
He's basically a better Chad Pinder. Yan Gomes, he started out hot, kind of cooled off, but I mean, I don't think his numbers are still decent. Yeah. I mean, I know defensively,
him and Murphy have been splitting. Has been perfect.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Chafin, other than the one game he came in against the Giants, I mean, he was perfect really up until that performance. So yeah, I don't know. If you look at the front office, you're like, okay, well, I just did all these moves. They were all great moves, and we fell apart. Yeah, I don't think there's any chance that any of those guys come back. I obviously know Chafin has the option, but they can maybe make it work. But I don't know. It's starting to get those 2014 vibes where if they don't make the playoffs, or they just play that one game wild card and they lose, I think it's some guys are. I think Olsen, top of the list, is probably a guy. Exactly what you said, Jay. Like, he has his highest value right now. So, and I know there's a whole like, well, we get rid of Chapman. Chapman's value probably isn't very high right now. I don't know.
That's the crazy part.
You could definitely find someone who will take him. I don't doubt that.
Oh, absolutely.
But for what cost? I just can't imagine it being too high.
Chapman's under contract for one more season. They won't. I mean, I was always the guy who said they're going to trade him in the offseason because coming into this year, he still had the huge market, but now his terrible season that he's had hitting wise, he has really not as big of a market. So you bring him back next year and you trade him at the deadline and hope that he has something. Obviously you're not going to pull Colorado and just let him walk for nothing. Like they're sorry, but they're Olsen. I think he'll be gone in the offseason. Then obviously Marte. I think they'll bring back Chafin. Someone that with Trevino struggling over the weekend, I wouldn't mind giving Romo some chances just because I think he's our best bullpen arm right now. Just hey, just give him a chance to close a couple of games, see what happens. Because I've never really felt comfortable with Trevino. I know you said that he had really good numbers, but he's very wild. I mean, he's
The
just
only guy
never makes
that's
you like.
the only guy that's wild in that bullpen is Jake Diekman, and the fact that the A's still want to use him in high leverage situations just baffles me because I feel like even though Jake Diekman's numbers aren't terrible, I just feel like he's not as good as his numbers say. I don't know, but
I mean, if you
I
guys
already
miss the playoffs or lose in the wild card, do you think the team will be moved, or
What do you mean?
you guys
He means
think
the
you'll be-
actual team will get
moving on.
moved.
No, don't give him any time for that.
Run that guy.
Screw him. Get him out there. I'm gonna
Ben,
mute him.
just
On
Muting
that,
him.
Ben,
But,
just go talk about your piece of shit.
Oh,
Whoa.
we still got to talk about the Giants here. Let's talk about them
Yeah.
first. It's
We gotta
cool.
we gotta go from low to high, and then we go
Mhm.
right back down low. It's a roller coaster.
It is a roller coaster.
It's a roller
Shouldn't
coaster.
we start end it with the good part? You know.
No, that's not how I roll
Okay.
right here. Maybe if you knew the Blue Jays were playing at home since end of July, maybe you would. But since you didn't, we're gonna have to just
The damn Delta
Quit it,
variant.
move on.
yeah.
No wonder
So-
Toronto started falling off the map.
But
Oh
yeah,
my
I don't know. I
gosh.
mean, what else can we add? Maybe the fact that Piscotty is apparently having wrist surgery. I guess don't know if he's out. I can't imagine he's going to be on this roster next year. I mean, he's still got years in the contract too. I don't know. I don't know. I think it doesn't help that I think we're all kind of down about it just because I mean, the last podcast
At least we're not Baltimore.
we were here talking about how a hit it or quit it question was, are the A's clicking on all cylinders? And I think most of us like, yeah, we're seeing them, their offense is doing good. The starting pitching is good. The bullpen's doing well. We're like, this is probably like this is like their high point. Vacation. And yeah, and then I go on vacation. John complains about it. And then,
That's more
we're
like
not
Rist,
good.
but I just like to jump on it because it annoys you.
So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be it's gonna be a brutal few weeks, but we'll probably be here every week to just update you about
it's like the Titanic iceberg dead ahead.
Yeah,
The worst movie ever.
The absolute pain. So, but hey, you know what? We'll go to a high point here. We'll switch it over to the team on the other side of the bay. It's San Francisco Giants, who just completed a 3-game sweep of the New York Mets today. And they've won 5 in a row, and that team just keeps on winning. I mean, what's funny is that they had their hashtag, this year is, resilient SF, and they are completely resilient because, the crazy thing is I look at the Bay Bridge series this year, and the Giants, props to them, they won 4 of the 6 games. But man, the A's really had a chance, if not really were outs away from winning those 4 games that they lost. I look at the 2 wins that the A's got. Cole Irvin pitched a gem in San Francisco that Sunday afternoon game, and the A's won that game, I think, like 6-2. It was really because the Giants got some runs in the 9th inning. And then the A's won 4-1 Friday. But I want to say that the 4 games that the Giants won, I think they combined won by a total of 5 runs in 4 games. They had 3 one-run victories. And then
the Friday game was the one that
I think
really the only game.
I think the very first game of the series in San Francisco was a 2-0 victory. And other than that, it's been 1. And I mean, the A's were 2 outs away on Saturday. They were 4 outs away on Sunday. So, but it's almost like a team of destiny. It's just like you can't it's like, how could you can't draw it up any other way that these 2 guys would just pinch it, hit these absolute bombs. I mean, well, maybe not so much, Solano's being a bomb, but Wade's is like, yeah, good night. Just absolute shots. So, I mean, yeah, they're just another team that just continues to win, and they're having all these guys having fantastic years. They made a great addition with adding Chris Bryant, who just absolutely just fits this lineup. And it's just crazy because of all the mixing and matching that Kepler can do and everything. I mean, they're basically using La Stella and Solano platooning at second base. And I'll be the first one to say, I thought La Stella was great for the A's last year. I wish that was one guy. I'm not going to lie. I was almost more disappointed that the A's lost La Stella than they lost Marcus Semien this offseason. call me crazy, whatever you want to call it.
You crazy. You see what
You
Simeon's doing?
crazy.
But look,
Crazy.
but Lascella is just a platoon player now for this team. Like, that is absolutely bonkers to me that is the situation. So
Yeah, sometimes find a weird fit in a oddball place.
so
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I guess I'm just curious, you know, what else you guys have to add on to this amazing year the Giants are having.
Giants are out there, like you said, Craig. They're just resilient, getting the job done. They beat up a Mets team that the owner's sending tweets out to his own team. Like, how many batters does it take to, you know, be a good ball player? And the owner's just very involved. You can tell. And the Mets, I mean, New York's a big town, obviously, and the Mets want to win, and they just went in there and handled their business. Even though they went like 7-3 last week, the Dodgers still gained ground. They're only 2.5 up on the Dodgers. They're still, and the Dodgers are winning right now too. So it's going to be a 2-horse race all the way down. It's gonna be fun. And the Dodgers are starting to get a little bit more healthy, you know, as the season progresses. It's gonna be a dogfight. Padres are kind of fading a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to be nice, but
they're basically
They're not-
the American
they're
League
not-
version of the A's right now.
Yeah.
They're
not even in the playoffs anymore either.
yeah.
Just like the A's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, Chris Bryant's been a great addition to them. Fielding and hitting. I think he has 5 jacks since he's come over. Yeah,
Over,
they
baby.
plug and play. I mean, they put the guys in. Lamont Wade Jr., that guy was unheard of, and now he has like
Fucking
17
go.
home runs. It's whoever they put up. They lead the league in. They lead all of baseball with home runs. Like that team with a bunch of no disrespect.
You know who leads the league in solo home runs?
The Oakland
Oakland
Athletics.
A's. Who are the Oakland A's?
Are they? I think they also tie for leading the league as well, just with not scoring when bases are loaded as well. I think
There's no tie. They're clearly ahead of that.
Oh, they're clearly ahead. I apologize. Sorry.
But who would have thought, like, these guys, no disrespect. I mean, there's a bunch of no-name guys, and they're mashing. And so there has to be something to be said about the coaching of Gabe Kapler and his staff, whatever they're doing, their philosophies. Okay, Cohoon, don't be hating.
Easy now.
Maybe your boy Dak should juice up too, but whatever.
No need for a drop. Damn.
No, I mean, if you're a Giants fan, it's gonna be a fun last 30 days of the season, and then, you know, hopefully, I mean, they're obviously gonna at least play in the playing game, but you would hope they win the division. And I would love to see a Giants Dodgers playoff series. That'd be absolutely
intense.
bonkers. So
That'd be intense to watch.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's all I got on the Giants.
Cool. So moving on
it's
to another sport.
No.
No.
John, anything else you want to add?
No, I was just gonna say it's a whole bunch of just players playing out of their ass. You know, I mean, like you said, Lamonte Wade, besides Cedric Mullins in Baltimore, and you could argue he maybe even passed in the last couple of months. That's totally like the best player that was a AAA player last year, like who just came out of nowhere. Like,
Came out of nowhere.
who the hell was Lamonte Wade? Who the hell was he last year? And then now he's this guy destroying the A's every time he has a chance. Logan Webb. I saw a stat that in August he had the lowest ERA going into the series against the A's. Like,
he's had like the lowest ERA in baseball in like the last.
Yeah, where did this come from? Descalfani's back. I mean, he's not 100% yet. He's still only opening, pitching a couple of innings, but like they're still making that work. Cueto at his age is still doing what he needs to do. It's just like one person struggles, the other person picks him up. Like,
yeah.
I'll say just a number.
I'll say if there's one thing you could look at, if there's one thing you'd probably point out that maybe is a little worrisome, is that Kevin Gausman has struggled. His numbers have tailed off a little bit, and I think he even straight up.
Can't use the sticky stuff anymore.
And I think he even straight up said that after the game against the A's, because he left after 3 2/3 innings of that game, that he straight up said that the book is out on him, and now he needs to be pretty much perfect if he wants to pitch well now.
Yep.
So. But just like you said, though, John, like he's down, but everyone else is picking him right back up. If you would have told me before that game on Saturday that Gausman wasn't going to get out of the 4th inning, I probably would have told you that the A's were going to win that game probably no matter what. There's something else to that I remember. Oh, I already forgot what it was, but I said I was telling somebody that if you told me that, there's no chance that the A's would have lost that game, and they still did. They still did. So, but yeah, I don't know. The Giants, it's gonna be a fun down the stretch for them. So they got some more games left against the Dodgers. I think they have a bunch of games left for the Padres too, so they could really, take advantage of the Padres really faltering and just adding on a bunch of W's. I think they're on pace for like 105, 107 wins right now. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So all right, well, we can move on to we go down south, and I don't mean that like in the standings wise necessarily, Ben. I just meant that like down south, like in the state of California.
That's fine. It's fine. You want to talk south? I mean, you guys will be joining us anytime now. All right, don't worry. It's all good.
We can get that low. We're not that terrible. But hey, Ben, I did see that Shohei Ohtani hit a leadoff home run today, and then unfortunately, I think there's like 13 more runs that got scored in that game. But I don't know if they're the Angels. You know what? Let me just stop. Let me just have you take it away. Ben, why don't you let us know how the Angels have been doing lately?
Well, the Angels have been doing pretty solid come the last 30 days now of the season, doing as anyone would expect, just 63 and 66, looking rock solid. So we are pretty content on not making the playoffs. They don't want to overdo it this year. You got to applaud them on their initiative. They're going to prep for next year. Love it.
When they get all those guys back, right? Nice and healthy.
Exactly. They don't want to overdo it with their no big names and all that good stuff. So yes, and as you're saying, the Shohei Ohtani hit a 41st home run of the season. Now has 5 over Vlad Jr. Unfortunately, they gave up 13 more runs unanswered, so it was 13-1 final, but irrelevant.
It's but so irrelevant.
Something pretty cool though was with Ohtani hitting that home run today, he has now hit a home run in all AL parks. So that's pretty cool.
Oh wow, that's actually pretty cool.
So I was like, okay. So he's been able to do that. Damn! But hey, that's the highlight of that. So all I can really say beyond that is thank God the season is ending in 30 days because this shit cannot end any sooner.
30 games.
You can do it! But yeah, no, I'm hoping
30 games, not 30 days.
Sorry, 30 games. My bad. Can we just make it 30 days? Let's just cut our losses.
We still have to play until the first weekend of October, unfortunately.
Oh, son of a bitch. So anyways, they're screwed. But with his 41st home run and they have 30 games or so left, my prediction of 46 home runs is looking pretty good right now. I think it will be 46 and the highest would be 48 that he gets. That's my prediction on that. So let's see what happens though. And then all I can say is looking forward to next year. Woo!
With their million arms that you guys got in the farm system.
Yep.
Oh,
one of them's got to be good, right?
Well, hopefully. Are we sure about that?
So
he'll probably be good, and we'll probably trade him.
I saw a pretty insane betting odds. If you guys had to take a guess right now, who is the betting favorite on Bet Online for AL Cy Young?
Lance Lynn.
Nope.
Trevin Story.
Get the fuck out.
What?
I don't know. What? I don't know.
Do you know? Okay, hold on. What is Cy Young, Ben?
Oh God, can we not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just
is that like the Conn Smythe?
That should be a jock. That should be a Jockworthy question.
Who is Chapman? Since my original pick, Laureano, is a drug addict now.
Oh, so. What?
Like,
that's not.
That's
not how that works.
Can't pick him anymore.
That's not how this works, man.
Go ahead, Cohooney. Who is it?
Robbie Ray from Toronto.
Oh my God!
Really?
Yeah. And then so it's kind of crazy. I saw that yesterday, and then I'm like, what? And then I watched his game against the White Sox. He threw 14 strikeouts against the White Sox. Like,
oh shit!
What is this guy on?
Wow.
Probably what Laureano's on. But anyways.
Whoa!
This guy stinks.
Sorry, my bad. What is Laureano?
Wait for it. Wait.
Where is Laureano? Why?
Where is
Laureano?
Laureano? That was great. That was a great team effort, everybody. That was great.
Man.
He's down in the California Penal League.
So wait, with him with him missing 80 games, how many games will he officially miss next season because of that? Will playoffs count?
No.
I don't think it does. I think he's gonna miss probably like 40, like around. I think he's gonna miss like around 40 this year and then 40 next year.
Okay. All right. Damn.
Wait,
So
is that true
he's
that the playoffs don't count?
I don't think so. But that's if he does 80 games, that'd be so 40 and 40. That's a new 40-40 club member. I like it.
Oh boy.
Wow.
My man.
Oh boy. Let's move on before more drug dealers come
Yeah.
out here and just
But,
start following our channel.
Jesus.
Hey, we need all the help we can get.
We already know you're the drug addict when it comes to that smelling salt.
Shots fired.
Yeah. How rude.
I mean,
Do you look like you're crying?
Oh.
Get away from that, Jason.
I don't have a whip for that actually. No.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow.
okay. Well, let's move on.
Hey,
Speaking of
kids,
all the
don't try that at home.
all the help that we can get, Jason and I had some bets in baseball going on today. So, Jay, why don't you start off? Let us all know how those bets have been off and which ones are looking good, maybe not looking so good right now for you.
Yeah, so about that. I had the Giants over the Mets. Obviously, we talked about that. They cover there. I had the Yankees over the A's, and that's looking pretty good as we speak. I had the Phillies over the Diamondbacks, and believe it or not, the Diamondbacks have beat the Phillies for the 4th straight time. That's not good.
Wow.
I had the Red Sox over the Twins. That one hit.
Oh my God.
I had Seattle over KC, and I'm trying to find the score here. Who won that game?
You shut up, man.
Can you not take over the entire bit, Ben? Like, come on.
And then Seattle's winning right now over KC, 1-0.
I think he's dying.
And what was my final bet here? 1 second. I had Milwaukee over Cincinnati, and I lost that game. So probably looking at like a 4-2 week.
You know what's funny? Did you notice that? I would hope you noticed. Did you see the pitching matchup in that game today between the Reds and the Brewers?
I did. Sonny Gray versus
Brett Anderson. Did
Yeah.
you know that going into that game, they both had identical ERAs at
I did. I saw
4.15? Isn't that funny how that worked?
Yeah. Funny.
So,
I just went with my gut, and that didn't turn out too well.
yeah. Why am I not surprised? Anyways, we can move.
Whoa.
Whoa. That
Okay.
ain't right.
Let's go 2 and 3. Let's hear yours.
All right. Well, so yeah, I had five bets today, and I stuck with just team victories. I didn't want to get too crazy for this one, so similar to kind of Jay, we had some similar bets. I took the Giants over the Mets. That one hit, so 1-for-1 there. The one that did not go well was I also took the Phillies over the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks decided to give me 2 middle fingers right to my face. So that one didn't pan out. So 1-for-2 so far. But then we also did take the Red Sox over the Twins. That was handled no problem. And I also have the Dodgers over the Padres tonight. That one's looking good so far. And I also have the Yankees over the A's. That's looking good. So right now it's looking like a good chance at 4 out of 5. With even that one, I mean, come on, really, Philly?
No.
Are you even trying anymore?
Shit the bed.
What's going on?
Oh, they're in such a bad division. They only
Phillies.
all they have to do is win the division.
Phillies, this is like probably the first time I bet on you, and I'm already telling you, you know what? Hit the pike. Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Only
but
thing,
anyways,
only thing good in Philly is cheesesteaks and Rocky Balboa. That's it.
I'll just stick with the
Right.
cheesesteaks. Fine.
that works.
I haven't even really watched a whole Rocky movie.
That's okay. I don't think I've seen any of them either. So
What was it like? Amelia, or what's the girl's name that he yells?
Adrian.
Just
Oh, that's
don't play into it, Jason. Don't play
that's
into
fine.
it.
Whatever.
I'll say you.
My
Move on.
God.
Let's start talking about the shitty line. So
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move over to the gridiron as NFL preseason's underway. We're a couple weeks in. We got one game left coming up, and for pretty much everybody before we start really getting into the regular season talks. So NFL action.
Hold on. I have a spoiler.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Go ahead, spoil away.
Chapman was up at the bases loaded and he didn't strike out.
He
Oh, yeah.
didn't. He fouled
He
out.
didn't. No, he walked.
Oh.
Wow.
Progress.
Let's see if Murphy can tie this game up here.
Probably not. Oh, is he leading
Yeah,
right
right.
now for the Gold Glove or whatever? Murphy.
Probably not because he's not playing every day.
That's right. I got a Chipotle
still-
burrito coming my way, folks.
I still think he's the best catcher in the league, but
I
he'll
believe.
probably go,
I bet
I think,
you
I
do.
think he'll go
'Cause
to
you're all up
Salvador.
on them nuts.
Wow.
I think he'll go to Salvador. Salvador Perez just having that good of a season, like hitting wise, and for some reason, sometimes they give it to like the best hitter. It's weird, especially a catcher.
Yeah.
But Craig,
Back to
back
football.
to the NFL. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So guess we got a little bit.
Ben, do his
Anybody?
job.
Does anyone want to open up with any preseason updates that they want to give for any teams in particular?
I'll go last with the NFL segment because I got probably the most to talk about.
I'll go first. Yeah, I'll talk about the Niners. They won this past week with
kidding.
the. You know what? Your Las Vegas Raiders are going down this week too, so whatever.
I just
that's-
realized they're playing each other today.
I mean, it's Buffalo Bills. Or
Yes,
I mean, which
Minnesota
team do you want to pick?
Vikings.
I mean, which team do you want to pick? I mean,
Ben's Los
pick anyone
Angeles
you
Rams.
want.
Ben's
Shut
Detroit
the
Lions.
fuck up.
Ooh, who's getting real aggressive out
Oh,
here?
that's nasty.
Go get your Lions hat on. It's football season, not NHL season.
Go get your
Loser ducks.
Go put your Dak Prescott cast on, okay? Let's go.
Aw.
What's
I
that?
actually don't have a-
Just the worst type
What's that
of
trash
person.
ring, Cahoon? What's
Yeah.
that on? What's that? Anyways,
Is it laundry day?
I like how
Anyways.
me and Jason are the only ones actually wearing football stuff.
Well, yeah, you and your nightgown.
anyways, Niners beat the Chargers last week. They play the Las Vegas Raiders this coming Sunday. We're at a Niner camp. Everyone trying to drum up that Trey Lance is going to start week 1. I don't see it. He's going to play. It's still Jimmy's team until either Jimmy gets hurt or he loses 1 or 2 games. They're still going to play Trey Lance like in goal line packages and red zone packages, but everyone's just trying to get it up. And Kyle, like, hey, who's going to be your starting quarterback? He doesn't want to announce it yet. He already knows who it is. I think it's Jimmy. And also with the Niners, Nick Bosa and D Ford are progressing really nice. They did first team practice today on the defense. And if they are both healthy, that defense is going to wreak some havoc and be back to their Super Bowl year 2019 ways, I think. And in a tough division, but yeah, exciting times ahead. And then, like I said, they got the Raiders this weekend for the dress rehearsal of the preseason. So it should be a good game for probably the first half, at least, maybe even the 3 quarters, and then pay attention to what's going on in the stands because I'm sure there'll be some fights breaking out, just how it rolls. But should be entertaining.
A great way to stay in shape.
Okay.
Ben, anything?
Yeah, I'll go next. So the Lions started off their preseason against Buffalo, and Buffalo played pretty mediocre, and they won. So 16-15 over the Lions. Jared Goff only threw 7 out of 9 for his completions and attempts, so not very long of an outing for him, which is not surprising. But no touchdowns, no surprise there, but no interceptions. That's actually a big deal because God forbid that guy throws enough for the whole season for everyone. So then they played the Steelers next, and they still lost in a close one, 26-20. So Goff did not play in that one. So, hey, it's cool. They're sticking with they're being competitive. It is what it is. They finished out the preseason against the Colts. We'll see if they win that game, but they play tomorrow. But let's be honest here, they're probably going to lose that one. So they're probably going to lose all 3 preseason games rolling into the season, where they then start off on September 12th against the 49ers. So that'll be a good opening day game to see Trey Lance play against the Rams or Lions.
Don't you have that as a win?
That's a win, baby, for the Niners.
I'll say, didn't you? Did you not, or did you or not pick that as a victory for the Lions?
He did.
You did? Sounds like a bet to me.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see them play. 11-6, rolling in deep this season. I've got your back off. You're
Quit
gonna
it,
do some
move on.
magical things. So let's see how this tomorrow's game goes, and then we'll roll out from there. All right. So, Craig, you and your 6 teams that you're covering this year, how are you looking? One of them's got to be decent.
Sad part is 2 of them are.
All right, well, I'll just, not too much to recap, but we'll start with the Las Vegas Raiders. So they've started out 2-0. They had victories at home against the Seattle Seahawks. That was their first, I guess, home game ever at Allegiant Stadium with fans, I should say. That make sure to add that. So they won that game, and they went down to SoFi. They ended up beating the Rams in their second preseason game. So Derek Carr hasn't played. It's been Nathan Peterman behind center for the entire 2 games. So I'm not quite sure if Carr is going to be getting into this game, as they have their preseason finale over at Levi Stadium over against the Santa Clara 49ers on Sunday. So
Captain
we'll
Checkdown's
see.
going to play this week? Oh, that's good.
Well, at least they know who their starting quarterback's going to be. So I don't know what to tell you. So nor do I really care that much anyway. So, but anyways.
Yeah, because he's like Cousins is the starting quarterback over at that other team. So that's what I care about.
Ben, you realize Kirk Cousins is a way better quarterback than Jared Goff is, right?
Oh, okay. Why? Because he has, I'm pretty sure.
Because you like to say you like that.
Way better? I wouldn't say way better. I think he's a better quarterback.
I'm sorry. We're actually all out of time.
Does Cousins even have any playoff?
Hey, when my hand goes up, your mouths all go shut. So
that's a valid question, Cahoon.
So
I'm gonna back you on this one.
So let's move on.
Does Cousins have a playoff victory?
Let's go to yes, he does. He actually, now that you bring that up, he actually beat the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome with Drew Brees quarterback, which a lot of people can't really say that. No.
Okay. So he has one.
So
that's cute.
Anyways, let's move on to the Buffalo Bills, who are also 2-0 start. So they had victories over the really low life Detroit Lions, and then they smashed on the Chicago Bears big time. It was 41-15, and Mitchell Trubisky, interesting enough, played a chunk of that game. He had 20 completions for 221 yards with a touchdown pass. So it's not like we're gonna see Mitchell Trubisky behind, under center.
Hope not.
Week 1 against the Steelers. Yeah, no, it's gonna be Josh Allen. So he's another guy. He hasn't played yet or anything in preseason. I'm not sure if he's planning on playing, but
he shouldn't have to.
They have their preseason finale on Saturday when they host the Packers over in Buffalo. So we'll see. I think the Bills probably have, out of these 3 teams that I'm talking about today, I think they have the best chance of really making some noise this year, especially when it comes to the playoffs. So, and then we move on to the Minnesota Vikings, who they're 0-2. They've lost both their games. They lost both of their 2 games so far to the Broncos, as well as the Colts. So Kirk Cousins did start in the Colts game. He went 5 for 7 with 23 yards, so nothing really to report there. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I think you can all agree that really this Vikings team is really just going to depend on the running back situation. It's not like Cousins is going to really lead this team to anything too crazy. He's just got to not suck. That's the way I see it. So, but we'll get into, more topic of the regular season as we get closer down the road on a future show. But they have their preseason finale tomorrow, actually, over in Kansas City against the Chiefs. So we'll see if they decide they want to win a preseason game or not. It's probably not really matters that much. So, but that's all I have really to report. So I guess the only thing I will say, to backtrack a little bit. So the Buffalo Bills are in a little bit of more COVID-19 protocol issues. Isaiah McKenzie and Cole Beasley, 2 guys that are very well known to not be vaccinated for COVID-19. They've just went through some COVID protocols. In fact, Isaiah McKenzie pretty much posted on Twitter the letter he got from the NFL and made a comment about, here's my fine. Oh no, whatever. And so that's a whole mess. The Bills are one of the most least vaccinated teams of all the NFL. And I don't know. I would hate to see the Bills essentially lose a game to forfeit when, they're a favorite to win the AFC in my opinion, but But I digress, or I digest, depending whichever you'd like to go with on that one.
Digress, digest.
I'm hungry.
Whatever.
Let's do it.
Don't
Yeah,
matter.
pretty much.
Dubs and 4.
Don't matter. Doesn't.
Well, something that I didn't notice though, like obviously Cole Beasley talked about the Isaiah McKenzie thing, and I guess Cole Beasley is not even allowed at the facility right now because I guess he was within close contact with the trainer, who, even though the trainer is fully vaccinated, tested positive, and they're blaming Cole Beasley, who is still tested, who has not once tested positive. So it's a little funky. Like they're trying to, I think they're trying to use him as a scapegoat just because no one really likes him right now because of his whole anti-vaccination thing.
Even though he's said that he's not anti or pro vaccine. But
if you're not with us, you're against us. That's the way the NFL sees it.
I guess that's how
it's a shit show right now. And hey, like this, like I mean, I don't want to get too far into like COVID talks, but like Pfizer is now FDA approved, so you could see the NFL saying you have to get the Pfizer or you're not allowed to play in the NFL. Because if it's FDA approved, they can do that. So it should be very interesting to see what happens with the whole COVID situation.
Well, now everywhere in general is like saying that you have to have proof of vaccination.
Not everywhere. So far, only San Francisco is the only one that's like really big on that.
Well, no, it's spreading around.
Yeah.
But it's becoming a more common thing, which I mean, I'm kind of surprised it took this long to honestly implement. But I mean, it's going to become something where, again, the FDA approves it for Pfizer, and it's like, well, get vaccinated or go find another job. So,
well, it's eventually when they finally get this under control and like babies can get it, it's going to be like measles, like how when you're a toddler, you need to get the vaccine for that or whatever. I digress. I don't want to talk about COVID. We're talking about NFL, so I got a couple of news to talk about.
Which is all surrounded by your team, correct? Let's do this.
Yeah. So, Craig, are you anything else to talk about from the Bills or Vikings?
No. Take it away, champ.
All right. Well, I guess I'll talk about my team first. Not much to report on.
Actually,
I don't pay too much attention to preseason records. I mean, how many times the Lions have gone 4-0 in preseason, and then it doesn't matter whatsoever. The only big issue right now out of Dallas camp is Dak Prescott's shoulder. MRI came back, no structural damage, nothing. Offensive coordinator Kellen Moore says that he's not on a pitch count anymore. Pitch count, I don't know what that means for a quarterback. So he'll be starting week 1, and we'll see what happens from there. Another thing I want to talk about, Jason, I'm totally blanking right now, but is there Defensive Rookie of the Year for NFL?
Yeah.
There is. Okay. Bet Michael Parsons for Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's all I can say. Because he is a stud, and I cannot wait to see what he does this year.
He'll be up at
other news. Yeah, other news from the NFL. Jimmy G needs to quit NFL and go be a male model.
What?
Let Trey Lance be the starter because Jimmy G has looked awful in the preseason. While Trey Lance
did you say Jimmy G looks good? Do you have a thing for Jimmy G?
Everyone in the freaking world has a thing for Jimmy G. Look at George Kittle. George Kittle has a freaking man crush on him, dude. He wore a T-shirt of Jimmy G shirtless to a press conference. Damn! Everyone talks about how attractive Jimmy G is.
Daddy, chill.
I mean, when you're doing porn, you're doing dates with porn stars. I guess everybody's in the Jimmy G.
My man.
Do what you want.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
You can do whatever the hell you want. Other news from the NFL: Teddy Bridgewater beat out Drew Lock in Denver for the starting job. Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton is most likely to start Week 1 against Justin Fields, which has led to many Chicago fans booing Andy Dalton on the field, which prompted Justin Fields to actually come out in a press conference, which I really liked. I really liked that he did this, but he came out and he said like, booing Andy Dalton is not going to do anything for our team. Like, if he's out there, just support him. I understand like what you want me out there, but if the coaching decides it's not my time, it's not my time. Support the team. Do not boo Andy Dalton. I like that he had that, he came out and said that. It's a really good look for a young player. Another big thing. Jalen Hurts has continued to look awful in preseason, and there is some rumblings that old man Flacco. Not saying he'll start week 1, but there's a chance that they could go to Flacco sometime this year because Hurts is not the option. And while Jacksonville, Houston, and Detroit are probably the top options for the number 1 pick in the 2022 draft, if you have some extra $100, I would go bet Philadelphia for the number 1 pick because I think they're going to be in for a long season.
Dang.
And then 3 more QB battles that are not for sure over yet. We'll see what happens the last few preseason games. In Washington, it's most likely it looks like it's going to be Fitzpatrick, but they haven't announced yet. Heineke could still get the job. Who knows? I think it's going to be Fitzpatrick.
It's magic.
Winston looks like he's going to get the starting nod in New Orleans over Taysom Hill. I think that's the right choice. And then Cam Newton, I believe he tested positive again. I think New England is done with the Newton, and I think they will start Mac Jones, the rookie, in week 1.
Wow.
They're not a team who allows stuff to leak to the all the reporters and stuff. And there was leaks that like they're not happy with Cam Newton. And I'm like, New England never allows things to leak unless they want it to leak. And if they're gonna allow this to leak, it's because they're starting Jones over Newton. So if that happens, I mean, I'm on record here saying that Mac Jones is going to be a better player than Trey Lance. I think he's in the perfect position to succeed. And if he gets the week 1 start, I'm going to change my stance because I need him to sit a year or 2. So yeah, that's all I have for this week. Like everyone said, we still got 1 more week left of preseason, and I'll have my predictions for my full season predictions next week. Hopefully everyone else does.
Did you even talk about the Cowboys? I'm sorry, I blinked out there for a while.
I started with the Cowboys, you idiot.
Oh, all right. Well, all right, moving on.
I think we're gonna do are we gonna do our football show next week or the week after?
It should be next week because that's the last week for the reasons because
the
week after that the Cowboys are going to get steamrolled by Buccaneers week 1.
Oh, I guess.
While we're on a podcast.
Sure. Whatever.
I'm gonna have that going while we're doing.
No, absolutely.
Oh, of course. I will too. Like I have the A's right now going. By the way, the A's are down 6-5.
Wow. Don't call it a comeback.
How many innings?
It's like only the 5th inning.
Boys, I got breaking news for you. Breaking news. By the way.
Wait, hold on. Before you do anything, let me keep
up. Tonight's attendance at the A's and Yankee game, 8,147.
That's it, even with the Yankees.
Dude, I feel like 6,000 of them are.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be more. It's gotta be more Yankee fans than A's fans. You'd have to think, right?
You would have to think.
Wait, hold on. Is that just 8,000 A's fans while the other 20,000 are Yankee fans?
Nope. The announced crowd is 8,147.
Yeah. Well, it's a Thursday. I bet you the Friday, Saturday, Sunday games will be packed.
Yeah.
Probably mostly tomorrow.
Anyways,
I think the Giants series, the Friday was the one that was over 40K, and I want to say the Saturday and Sunday were like between 35 and 40K for both of those.
Yeah. So impressive, though.
Well, I hope you guys are ready to hear some more Cohooney because we have.
We have to. Okay.
The Cohooney 5 plus the bowling recap. So Cohooney, I'm assuming you're gonna go with the bowling recap first. I guess you have 2 weeks. You got to let us know with. So. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm not too happy with bowling. Last week we played the first place team and we were 5 points back. We won 3 out of 4, and we were 1 point behind. We were 1 point ahead of the third place team. And this last week was position rounds, which means for people who aren't bowling people, position rounds is pretty much the last week where points actually matter. So they match up first, second, third, fourth, blah, 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 right? So the team in behind us also won 3. So we were like coming into this week expecting to be facing the first place team. If we sweep them, we win first, right? We got there and we were in the 3-4 matchup. And we were like, what happened? Well, evidently the team that was ahead of us, the team that was behind us made up a week from like 7 weeks ago. And we're 1 point ahead of us. So like we were pissed. We were like, that's bullshit. Like they should have like a certain amount of weeks to like make up a week. They shouldn't be allowed to make it up this late. So, and then the fourth place team didn't even show up. So we were just bowling against each other. Against nobody. So none of us really were in a good mood to bowl. I think I bowled 2 170s and a 190. I mean, I still bowled around my average, but I didn't bowl my average. None of us wanted to be there. I think we still took 3.5 out of 4 because all we had to do is get within 30 pins. In the first game, we got exactly 30 pins, so we got half a point. But yeah, we ended up finishing in second place because the team that passed us for the bullshit makeup swept. So we still passed the first place team. So we got second place overall. And yeah, we'll see what happens next season. But let's move on to Cohooney 5. I kind of wish we had a podcast last week because I was close to just sending my Cohooney 5 to Craig, but I just didn't do it. And it would have been a 4 in 1 week. A funny thing is I was kind of hoping that last week was a podcast because of one guy. I talked to Ben and told him about this. There was a guy on the fight card who I took, whose name is Kak Ramanov. And oh my God, the podcast would have lost it. So yeah.
So it's Kak Ramanov?
He said,
yeah, Kak Ramanov. Yeah.
Ramanov. That's
so,
pretty good.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah, and he actually won too. So was another win. I actually won 4 out of 5. So unfortunately, I did not win 4 out of 5 with my MLB the last time we were on here. I actually had probably my worst week of all our podcasts. I went 1-3-1. Fortunately, the Brewers Pirates game got rained out. The only win I had was the Giants took over Rockies. A's lost to Texas. Tigers lost to the Indians, and freaking Angels, man. One time I actually take them against the Astros and then lose. So unfortunately, I'm almost 500, which really sucks. I'm at 45, 41, and 4. Fortunately, we're back to UFC this weekend.
Closer and closer to that Cowboys 500.
Oh, shut up, man! You can't even go 500 anymore. Oh yeah, you can go 8 right? Okay. Yeah. Well, just to start off the main card, it's easily the easiest choice on the main card. It's Petrovsky versus over Gilmore. Petrovsky is a huge favorite. He's trying to bounce back from his first career loss and gets an easy win here. Next off is Daniel Rodriguez against Kevin Lee. This is a fight of 2 really huge veterans of the division, and it's pretty much if whoever wins this is going to get into that top little echelon of the division where you could possibly fight for a title. Get 2 or 3 more wins after that. I'm going with the underdog Rodriguez. He just has a knockout power, and he's got that one punch knockout, and I think he gets the knockout in the 3rd round of Kevin Lee. And then the next 2 fights are actually the Ultimate Fighter finale fights. I got Chutios over Heiston. Honestly, I have not been watching too much of the Ultimate Fighter. So these 2 fights are a little tough to go for, but from what I did see, I like the Chutios guy to win the finale for his division. And then the next one, this one's actually feels like a little easier because his last name's Battle, his fighter actually suffered a knee injury and had to step out. So there's another guy, Urbina, who's stepping in, and I have Battle winning his finale fight. And then the main event of the night is a really close. I can't remember the last time I saw a pick'em main event. It's Giga Jakatsian facing off against Edson Barbosa. This is going to be an amazing 5-round fight. Jakatsian is undefeated in the UFC, while Barbosa is one of a long-time veteran. I have Giga Jakatsian continuing his win streak and his climb up the division rankings. So to go over my UFC Cohooney 5, I got Petrovsky, Rodriguez, Trukios, Battle, and Jakatsian.
All right.
Man.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
No funny names this week, unfortunately,
No.
for you, Ben.
It
Yeah.
was very bland.
Yeah. I feel like that was probably the worst one if in Ben's eyes, probably.
Oh yeah, that was.
But that's why I had to start off with the whole cock Romanov. So
Yeah,
at least he got a little bit of a laugh.
Cock rubbing off. I like that guy. He
Sadiq
sounds pretty good.
Yokup.
What about
Sadiq
Sokum? You want to suck up?
Seriously, that's his full name. Sadiq Yokup Kakramonov. Like, holy, try to say that 5 times fast.
Something about rubbing off on me is all I heard. That's all I heard.
Okay, let's move on. So, all right, we gotta shift it over to the softball diamond. Plenty of games went on. So, what we had 6 games altogether since our last show. The first 3 I wasn't there for, so not I guess a whole lot I can give you. I can just tell you that
they all went great.
The first Friday game on back on the 13th, our first of 2 matchups against the Outlaws did not pan out very well. And they ended up losing that game. I don't know, it was like 16-3, I want to say, something like that. It wasn't a good one. Apparently it was close early. Things kind of ran away. So tough one there. Shifted over to Mondays. And another thing is that Jason missed most of these games with he was on the IL with a back injury. So, but apparently that Monday game was really good. A good thing that we had Ben there, because Ben came up with a pretty clutch late hit while they were trailing, ended up taking the lead late.
Too bad. Oh, clutch.
Did something.
And holding off to beat the winless team on Mondays. So good from there. It was a 14-12 final. Got the team back on track after losing the doubleheader previously. As then we shifted over to Wednesdays. We went up against the undefeated team in the other division, and not gonna lie, I wasn't there for that game. We were also missing Alicia in that one, and that team was averaging 20 runs a game in their first 5, and didn't win, but only lost 10-5. So
9-5.
not according to the scoreboard or not according to the website. They must have counted an extra run.
They counted that last run. So they got a hit as the clock was running. So they must have counted that run that crossed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So of course, so it was 10-5 final based on there. So either way, it sounded like it was a pretty darn good game. Kept it close. Just needed a couple more hits in there, really. So then we shift to last Friday. We're back. We ended up playing against the team that was a no-call, no-show on us earlier in the season, and they didn't do it to us this time, but they may have wished that they did, because early on they took a lead, but once the bats started going, we took control, and I think it was 21-5, something like that. I can't remember the final score, but we ended up prevailing, so got back on track. So the Friday team going into the regular season finale tomorrow night is 6-3 with a chance to go on a 2-game win streak going into the playoffs, but it's another matchup against the Outlaws. So we'll see. I'm expecting a pretty darn tough game, and I think it could really go either way. So we'll see how it goes. There, we shift over to Mondays of this week. We we took on Just for Fun, which is a team that we've played in previous years, and they usually have a way with us, but thankfully, they still have some of those players left over, but they definitely have some new faces, some newer players, and good old Grandpa Jay opened the game with a leadoff home run, and I guess you could say the team never looked back. Even though, call it a double and an error, whatever you want to call it. It's softball. It's a home run.
Literally home run. That's still home run.
So it got a little close. I think at one point we were up 12-2, and I want to say it was 14-5 going into the bottom of the 7th. They put up 5 runs. The rally was kind of starting to creep up, but we were able to hold it off and hold on to the victory. So crazy thing about it, though, so after that victory, we've jumped to, I believe, we're 4-2-1. We're currently the 3 seed of 7 teams. And interestingly enough, the team that we beat, because they had a doubleheader, they won their first game. They actually jumped into first place even after that, because the other team that was in first, which was Life West, who they've beaten us and we've tied them. Well, they also tied again. So they dropped to the second seed. And kind of interesting little scenario is that if we win our game on Monday, we would lock in the 2 seed at the very worst. the winner, which conveniently the two teams ahead of us play each other for the first time as the regular season finale. So the winner of that game would clinch the number 1 seed, which gets them the first round bye. The loser of that game will actually drop to the 3 seed, assuming that we win our game. So that would get us home field the number 2 as the number 2 seed, and we'd play the number 7 seed, which as of right now is a team that hasn't won a game yet. So that would be a pretty big deal. Another thing you can add on to the craziness of this whole thing is that if we actually were to win our game, and if by some chance that Just for Fun and Life West were to actually tie, which not ruling out because Life West has tied twice, we would actually jump to the number 1 seed to give us the first round bye. But I will say this much. We have Labor Day coming up. So the number 1 seed is going to get 2 weeks off. They're going to have Labor Day holiday as well as first round bye. And I think it'd be better off if our team would just continue playing and not have the extra week. So I'm striving for the number 2 seed. If we get the number 1, that'd be great. But the number 2 seed would also be good too. So we'll see how it goes. We have a very interesting.
Please take the lead, baby.
Nope, they tied it.
Okay, never mind.
Okay, so interesting last game we have ahead of us.
Jay Hay.
And then right on. I like Jay Hay. We're good with that. But anyway, so we go to Wednesdays, go to last night, and we had another matchup against the Burners, the brand new team that we opened up the season against, and very, I guess, a similar look, I would say, to the first game. But this one, it was a little close early. I want to say we were actually down 3-2 at one point. But once again,
pitching wasn't very solid.
Oh yeah, that's right. I had a left fielder that was jogging at everything that was hit in front of him.
What are you talking about?
So
talking about Jason like that?
You play with your back to
hey
the
guys,
fence,
Jay Cohooney, remind me never to get that sub who came out for that game because clearly he didn't really want to play. No, Savina was awesome. She killed it. So she had her own little 4-3 double play ball that that kept him from scoring a run back when the game was close. But Cohooney, also congratulations on getting your first few RBIs. That was big. So
thanks Cohooney for not getting to home plate, so I couldn't get an RBI.
Yeah. So with that victory, we've jumped up to 4-2. We got 2 regular season games left, and another interesting scenario. We have basically. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I think you can comfortably say this is basically a championship game preview. We're tied with No Glove, No Love. They were able to defeat us the first time around, but really whoever wins this game is probably going to take the number 1 seed out of the division, since we're both 4-2. The other 2 teams in the division are 1-5 and 0-6. So after this game, we play against the 1-5 team and they play the winless team. So realistically, both of our teams should win that game. So really, whoever comes away with the victory in this game coming up next Wednesday is going to take the number 1 seed. And more than likely, it's going to be these 2 in the championship game, because we're going to play, the first round we play against, the 2 bottom feeders of the division. So yeah, it's going to be a preview of what we can expect probably in the championship game. So it's going to be a fun, entertaining game. So I'm excited for that. I just know starting tomorrow, going into next week, there's 3 really big games going on on the softball field for all of us. So I don't know. It's exciting. We'll see how it goes.
Got the smelling salts ready, baby.
So,
game face.
Interesting enough.
Haley couldn't even smell it.
I guess any of you 3, anything you want to throw into anything, I guess I'll throw it out. I don't know. Anything you guys want to throw on for any night. I know, Jay, you missed a lot of games because your back was hurting and everything. And John, I think we finally dedicated the Hit the Quad song, as we would call it, for you. But I guess anything you guys want to throw in there.
Yeah, until we lost to our dicks.
Oh God, we're still talking about this.
Yeah, like it's funny because like you said, we lost to a team that had averaged 20 runs all season, and for this to lose, like you said, 10-5. But you could argue like we could have actually beat them too. That's the sad part. Like we had so many opportunities and we hit into like 3 double plays. We had one play where my shoulder actually almost led to us getting the final out that could have kept it at 5 runs, but unfortunately the umpire was out of position on a play where both Keith and Becca both said that the girl missed the bat completely. It should have been called out. That's unfortunate, but we all knew this week on Wednesdays we had an easy match. Fortunately, Ben did not know that, as I was trying to hold him up so we didn't fully run up the score. And I put up the stop sign, and he looked at me. He's like, "What?" And just kept going. I'm like,
it's just one of those
"What?
unwritten
Hey."
rules when you're playing against a team that you know is a step below. When you have to double digits, you can. It's stationary.
In my defense,
by base.
as you guys know, even John knows, the last time we played them, I was very advocate about. I wasn't even playing; I was just watching because it was your first game.
Yeah,
I was very
we
advocate.
know you scolded the Cahoon for not realizing it, and then Cahoon learned, but apparently you unlearned it.
I unlearned it. So I did not realize that we were actually up by that much. Honestly, I thought it was actually a lot closer, just because I wasn't looking at the scoreboard. I was just making sure that Jason didn't take my head off at second base. So, I was kind of on a mission of just getting the hell off the bases at that point, just saying, let me get in the dugout and be safe.
Your reflexes are good.
So I do apologize for that. But at the end of the day, we have to blame. At the end of the day, we had to blame Lexi because she ruined it for everyone by getting.
Ben is just playing by this mentality.
You play to win the game.
That's the way he
I
plays,
knew that we won it. That's why I wasn't playing too hard in the left field. I was like, I wanted Jason to do a backflip and catch the ball, but it was cool.
That's right.
All
You were playing so far back. It was hilarious.
I wasn't sure how good they were going to hit.
I was looking at Lexi. I was like, dude, he's playing way too far back. And then there was 3 hits to left fielder. I'm like, yeah, if Ben just played in, he could have got that.
I could have.
But at the same time, me and Lexi I thought we had a miscommunication that we let drop also. So I can't complain too much.
Shit happens. It is what it is. But again, that's why you have games like that. You work out the kinks and you get better for the more important games. So easy there, Cahoon. You almost made me choke.
Anything else, boys? Anything else you want to add on? Anything at all?
No.
Cool.
No, we've been good.
All right.
Enjoying this playing.
Keep it in the quad.
Because it is the return of Grandpa Jay's Get Off My Lawn. Jay, what is grinding your gears tonight?
Oh boy.
So we kind of touched on it earlier. I mean,
we touched it, all right.
Okay. The A's and Yankees attendance was 8,147 tonight. And yeah, it's a Thursday night, like Cahoon said. And yes, their COVID variants are still out there and all that. But at the same time, why is it 8,000? Is because I think the Oakland fans have finally had enough of ownership. And my Get Off My Lawn segment is about Dave Cavill. He goes out, has a meeting with the press and says, oh yeah, we're still not in agreement on a bunch of financial terms with the city of Oakland, who have pretty much, if you believe what the city of Oakland is saying, it bent over backwards to keep this Oakland A's in town. They're the only team left in town. They're going to do everything in their power to keep them in town. And it just seems to me, especially after their meeting with Las Vegas financial advisors, that they do not care about Oakland. They did it. This feels like Major League, the movie to me. That's awesome. The only thing that's different is that the A's have a pretty decent team. But the whole plan is, let's be shitty enough, let's not draw any attendance, and then when we go to move, we're going to put on the fans because they never came out to support the team. And it's just a bad look, and I think at this point they're gone. As bad as it sounds, you don't keep coming out in the public, in the media, and you don't negotiate in the media to begin with. If you're I'm trying to find the term I'm looking for here. If you're being serious about staying in Oakland, the fact that you keep on coming out and saying we're still not close on a bunch of different terms. Libby Schaff, the Oakland Mayor's, come out and said, "Oh yeah, we just about were in agreement on everything." Well, there's some miscommunication there, obviously, and it seems like the A's want everything handed to them on a silver platter, or they're bouncing ship, and they keep on flirting with Vegas. I think they're, like I said, I think they're gone. I don't know what your guys' take is on it. I know we touched on it a little bit, but it's just a bad look. Like, either come out and say, hey, we're doing everything in our power to stay in Oakland. Our focus is in Oakland. We are not going to talk to Vegas anymore until Oakland gives us the go-ahead that we are not going to come to an agreement. But it just seems like they're playing, again, parallel paths on both Oakland and Las Vegas. It's the bad look. And it's showing. The A's fans are not coming out. The Giants and A's, yeah, they drew good, but how many of those were Giants fans? I wasn't there at any of those games. But if I was to guess, I would say, 15,000, maybe 20,000 were Giants fans? Just
More than
roughly?
that.
Okay, so even more. So more than
I would
half the
say
stadium was
I would
Giants
say
fans.
it was very close to 50-50, if
Okay, so
not slightly more of the Giants fans, honestly.
Right. So what's the problem with the A's drawing when they have a semi-decent team in playoff contention, even though we think they're fading? It's a Thursday night. It's the New York freaking Yankees. It's cheap tickets. Why aren't they drawing? It's because I think it's for ownership. But that's my take.
Fifth richest ownership group in the MLB, third lowest payroll in the MLB. That's one of the biggest issues. If you're gonna go to Vegas, Vegas is, a city where they're gonna expect you to start spending money.
Mhm.
Is this ownership group gonna finally open up the paychecks and start buying players like the rest of the league is doing? That's my crazy thing. It's like, you're really gonna go to Vegas? Are you gonna have the same mentality you do in Oakland, where you have one of the lowest payrolls? Like, Vegas isn't going to. Vegas will not go out to that when you're that. Like the Raiders spent, like, how much money did Mark Davis spend making that place, that Allegiant Stadium, the black hole,
And the training facility to go along with it. So
exactly, they spent the money to move there. I don't think, like, what are the A's expecting the Vegas to buy them a stadium? Like, I don't get it. Like, these guys are all just cheap billionaires who don't want to spend, or millionaires who don't want to spend money, and it's pathetic. I mean, yeah, it's run the course, unfortunately. Dave Cavill, congratulations, you were the most hated GM in MLB.
GM.
President. Yeah, sorry, I always forget. I always get mixed up what the hell he is, because who the hell gives a shit? Yeah. Fuck Dave Cavill.
Okay. Guess John's gonna have his own get off my lawn in a minute. Yeah, no, it sucks to see that, like, for sure. So are we road tripping to Vegas to see a game, or?
Fuck no.
All right.
K Ben's done for tonight.
All right. Good talk.
I guess
Good
something
talk,
I'm
guys.
at is that, I mean, I've been saying it, that I've been more convinced they're going to be gone than they are staying here for a while. So I don't feel any need to, I think you just get to a point in your life when you get to a certain age, you just start picking of things of what you're going to invest into. And this is one of those things that, like, I'm not going to invest myself into this portion of things and just until it's, like, done with. Either there's a shovel in the ground here in Oakland somewhere, or it's official they're moving, and then we'll talk about it when it's there. But yeah, that's all I'm really gonna add on that.
I'll circle back real quick. If they're going to Vegas, they're going to be the third show in town. I mean, the Knights and the Raiders are going to be.
No, they're not going to spend money. So obviously,
yeah, they're going to be the third show in town. It's not the biggest media market. Bay Area is a bigger media market. So what are you really trying to do? I don't know. Maybe
no state tax.
Maybe there's financial gain there, but
yeah,
they're just, like, I'm gonna say it. They're rich Jews and they want to keep their money.
Okay. All right.
Well, for those viewers out there, he said rich dudes.
Yeah, totally. That's exactly what he said. Yeah. Yeah, I think there was a dolphin or something involved in that too. But
yeah.
Okay, anyways, we can move on.
Move it along.
Let's move on, because we got another segment. We got to get to. It's one that if you've seen any of our shows before, it's always a common theme. It's the hit it or quit it segment. If you're new to it, we'll explain it for you. It's basically one of us presents a round table question, and we all just take our turn determining if we're hitting it or if we're quitting it. So, boys, who wants to lead things off tonight?
I'll go first, because I'm the lead off hitter. Anyway.
Okay.
Well, no one said you're leading off the rest of the season, but okay.
Ouch. Okay.
Oh, just kidding.
Anyway, same subject. Well, same team. Oakland A's. They recently re-signed Chris Davis to their AAA team.
Oh, here we go.
And he's been raking down in Las Vegas, because they have their AAA team down in Las Vegas as well. Anyway.
Lock the week.
He's been crushing the ball, hence the nickname. My question to you guys is, will Chris Davis be called up to the Oakland A's before the season ends? Hit it or quit it?
hit it. I think he will, because if he's doing good in AAA, they know what he can do in the majors. And as long as he doesn't get thrown sliders and shows more discipline, I think he'll do very well up in the majors again to get kind of a revamped opportunity to try again with them. And hey, maybe it'll get a little bit of a spark going with the bats for Chapman and all those guys for the remaining 30 games or so. You gotta you know what, you guys are on the cusp of not making the playoffs, so you may need any little spark at this point.
You didn't even know that until we talked about it today, so
That is very true, but the point is this podcast brought that to my attention, so bam, let's do this. So I'm saying hit it. He's getting called up.
Quit it. He'll be on the team next season
All right.
when they're bottom feeders, trying to get out of Oakland.
Ooh.
based on the question of whether or not he will or won't be, I'm leaning hit it, just because we kind of said, like, we all have this feeling that it's going to be a long 3 weeks. They're going downhill. We don't think they're going to turn it around, but based on the recent play, I would think if they're going downhill, at some point they're going to know that they're done, and they're like, okay, well, what can we do? Then they're just put Chris Davis up there to see, like, okay, does he have anything really left at this level? Because I had mixed feelings with the whole thing. Like, I would love to see Chris Davis become, who he was before he had the downward spiral. But man, I keep remembering, I keep seeing in my head, like, just how lost and how just bad he looked that last stretch. He looked washed, man. And I know he's doing well at AAA level, but can anyone tell me, is he hitting over 300 right now?
I don't get on that. I'll let you
I
know.
don't
I don't
think he
299.
is. I don't think he is. I don't even know if he's hitting 250, to be quite honest with you. I think he might be okay, you know what? He might be getting over 250. But I don't think he's hitting like 290. So I don't know. I think on your question, I'll say hit it. Mixed feelings. I don't know. Like I said, I'd love to see it. I'm not convinced that he's gonna have it all of a sudden again, but I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong. So, but yeah, so based on your question, Jay, yeah, I'll hit it.
Okay, I'm trying to look up what Chris Davis is actually hitting right now, but I can't seem to find it. I'll hit it as well. Kind of what you said, Craig. Yeah, if they fall out of it, like we kind of think they will, they're gonna bring him up. Having said that, you thought he was washed. There have been a couple players on the Giants, like Crawford didn't look the greatest last year. Posey in his last year.
But did they look that bad though?
Not that bad, but they looked like they were toast. Like and they've had big bounce back years. So you never anything is possible. And maybe going to AAA.
Okay, Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, okay. Anything is possible. Yeah, whatever. You never know, and maybe the Vegas weather and the ball is jumping out of the park, and he's getting his confidence back. I think confidence in baseball especially is a big thing, and if you're hitting it well, just like in a team, if hitting is contagious, individual or team. So yeah, I think he'll be up before the end of the season, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I will go next here. Staying with the same team. So with the Bassett injury hit to his face, and after that surgery that he had gotten, hit it or quit it, he will be back on the mound as a starter next season.
It's a slam dunk hitting it.
Yeah, hit it.
I would actually now see if you would have said like a starter by the end of this season, maybe we'd
that's why I asked you guys earlier how many games there were. I was like, that's a little too soon. Man, I would probably lean towards hit it. I really think that he might start this year. I think he might be determined to go out there and pitch again. I was hearing that there was rumors
it'd
be in the bullpen.
It'd be more of a debate. So that's all I'm saying. It'd be more of a debate. You said that, but next year, yeah, that's a slam dunk. Hit it, move on.
All right.
Yeah, hit it, move on as well.
All right.
You messed up.
I would almost hit it like Craig said this
all
year.
Right.
He put out a text today, I guess, or tweet to Bob Melvin. He said as soon as he gets, clearance to do a baseball activity, he wants to be on the mound the next day. And I think he has that mindset. I think it wouldn't be shocking. It wouldn't shock me if he's out there this year.
He's a dog, man. He's a dog in the fight, man.
I fully expect him to get a couple. Like, I don't think he'll start, but I think he'll definitely get a few games out of the bullpen first before starting. But I could see him starting before the end of the season. But
Okay.
yeah, so for next year, definitely hit it.
Okay, I will hit it as well because I would like
It's not a
him
concussion.
to.
It's just
No,
face
yeah,
wound.
but still, it's just the. It's also like Jason said, it's confidence too. You just got hit in the face with a 100-mile-an-hour ball.
Yeah.
Like your confidence is not
Right.
going to be the highest. Okay,
He's showing
so
a lot of confidence
you
with all
know.
the text of Melvin and text to
Yeah, but again, people can say a lot of things behind a message, and then once you're out there, you know those jitters get to you. So I am
I
gonna say
agree.
hit it as well. I'm hoping that he gets back out there as a starter because you hate to see an injury like that, and obviously an injury like that you don't want to see it kind of essentially derail a career. So hopefully he does get back. So I'm gonna say hit it and hope for the best on that and see him back out there. If not by the end of this year, and then see him as a day-to-day regular next year. All right.
Hey, Craig, let me interrupt real quick. Craig, would you say that Chris Davis was sitting in AAA?
Not even 250. That's what he said.
That was my first thought, and I said, okay, he might be hitting over 250, but I don't think he's hitting. Okay, you know what? To be fair, I'll say he's hitting under 275. I think.
I said 299.
What if I told you Chris Davis is hitting 357 in Vegas right now?
You're kidding me.
I am not kidding
That's unbelievable.
you.
Wow.
All right, well, it's been fun working with all of you. I think I've just lost my right to be on this. So
Jesus.
Damn, if that's what it takes for you, Ben should have been off this like months ago.
wow.
Damn.
Yeah, his OPS currently is crap, 13-15. Like he is raking down there, man. I was like, geez.
Well, yeah, AAA, their sliders must not be that good. So
his slugging's 929.
damn.
Wow.
Anyways, next
All right.
question.
John
All
or
right.
Craig?
Craig, do you want to go or me?
I'll go ahead and go.
Okay.
All right, so we touched on the Giants a little bit. We talked about the Dodgers a little bit, and I kind of started thinking a little bit just because, this afternoon I'm driving, I'm listening to 95.7 The Game a little bit, and they're talking about, the Giants and the Dodgers, and everything. And one of the things that stood out to me was they're talking about how, the Dodgers probably, based on paper, they have the better group of individuals, but the Giants have the better team. Now, my question to you guys is that, I guess I'll frame it like this. Playoff series, I hoping that we're going to get is the Giants versus Dodgers. It's the better team versus the best individual players. Hit it or quit it that the better team, aka the Giants, would beat the Dodgers right now, which are the better group of individuals. So basically, hit it or quit it. The Giants would beat the Dodgers in a series right now.
I would go.
Go ahead, John. Go.
I'm gonna go ahead and go and say hit it because better team means full chemistry, no egos. Oh, I'm 0 for 2 and I'm a lefty and I can't hit lefties well. Okay, that's fine. Let the righty pitch hit for me. Like Dickerson will get pitch hit for rough. Like there's no egos. They're fine with it. They understand their role. Could you imagine Max Muncy went 0 for 2 and they pitched hit him for someone like he would lose his shit, or Bellinger gets pitched hit, like Mookie Betts gets pitched hit. I mean, I know it's not going to happen, but like you could argue like it's like you're getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. You get that big ego. While this team the Giants have, it's the perfect mesh of just no egos.
Playing for each other and everything.
Playing for each other, playing for the team, playing for the manager. Just it's amazing to watch because like we've all said, like they don't have these like insane big guys. It's just a perfect mesh, and I think they have what it takes right now to go to the World Series, beating the Dodgers. Which kind of sucks. They wouldn't be playing the Dodgers in the championship series. They'd be facing in the divisional. So, but yeah, I could see them winning a 7-game series.
I would have to agree. Hit it as well. At the end of the day, it comes down to team dynamics and chemistry and meshing well. And yeah, like John said, You know, you don't have guys with egos, and you've seen that implode on a lot of teams where people are playing for themselves instead of for their team. And even with that ego, something to build off of what Cahoon said is like, if you were to pinch hit some of those big name players, the managers are a little weary to do that because they're scared of the repercussions that the players will do. Like, you know, they'll act out, they'll be little prima donnas about
The
it.
revolt.
They'll revolt. And whereas the Giants, they really have no fear of doing that because players know, hey, I'm not doing well. This is going to be a better move for the team right now. It's not forever. It's just temporary. So,
but you know, really quickly, I don't mean to sidetrack the story, but what was even crazier to think is that on Sunday, you know, the AJ Puck comes in the 8th inning. It's 1-0 A's. Montas pitched a gem, 7 innings, gave up 2 hits, right? Well, the 2 guys that got hits in the game got pinch hit for. So the Giants literally took out the 2 guys who had base hits in that game, and they still won.
Yep.
That's when that happened, I was sitting there like, that's an interesting call, but look how it pans out for him.
Exactly. They're not looking at it as they're not looking into the future like, oh man, is this gonna affect us for the next game? They're like, no,
It's gonna affect someone's ego.
Yeah, we need to make this change now because something needs to change. You know, it's just like in hockey when a team's down 3-0, you change out the goaltender because, well, you need to change up the dynamic a little bit. It's not necessarily the goaltender's fault, but you got to change something up to do something to liven up the room and liven up the bench. And so I think that's exactly what the Giants are capable of doing, and you've seen it, and that's why they've been successful. So I think if it was a 7-game series, yeah, I would definitely say the Giants would win a 7-game series against the ego-driven Dodgers right now. So,
All right,
boom.
Jay.
I'm going to hit it as well. I think the Giants are playing with house money. They don't have the pressure to... They're a year early, I think, or maybe even 2 years early than what people thought they would be. And so the Dodgers have all the pressure. They got that big payroll. They got the big arms. They got the big bats. And to be frank, the Giants and Dodgers head-to-head record this year is 8-8. They're right there with them. They win some in LA. They win some in San Francisco. At this point in time, I think, well, yeah, obviously the Giants would have home field in a series. So, Oracle Park's going to be rocking. That place can be probably pretty intimidating as well. You've heard other ball players say that San Francisco is nuts when they're playing well and they're in the playoffs. You guys have said it. A bunch of no names. Plug them in. They'll do the job. Lefty, righty, doesn't matter. I think they just have the momentum right now. And in the back of the Dodgers' minds, they're going to be like, what do we got to do to beat these guys? There's no way we should be trailing these guys by 2.5 games. And yeah, here we are. Yeah. Another side note, Chris Davis hit a jack tonight with 2 hits.
Jesus, man. Unbelievable.
Oh, my God.
All right. Well, so I get...
must be good.
Yeah, I'm also hitting it too. I'm with all of you guys on this one too. Exactly everything you guys pointed out too about the whole team dynamics, and it's about teams over the individuals. So I think the only thing that you could maybe think like it's a little different is the fact that the Dodgers and Giants haven't played since the Dodgers got Max Scherzer and Trey Turner. So that could obviously play a different role, but yeah, I just find it really hard to really bet against the Giants right now. Not that like if they played a series right now, the Dodgers win, I'd be like, oh man, that was crazy, because we all know the Dodgers have a very good team. There's no doubt, but I can't see myself right now betting against the Giants. So I am full circle with all of you. We're together. I am hitting it. John, close us out.
All right. So with the A's leaving Oakland in the near future,
Oh, okay. Go on this.
The Oakland vice mayor announced on her Twitter that Oakland has actually been recently approved for a WNBA team to play in the Oakland Arena. And she was also asked if the Coyotes of the NHL were to relocate, would Oakland be an option? And she announced yes, they would actually try to get Coyotes to Oakland to play in the Oakland Arena. So my hitter or quit to you guys: if the Arizona Coyotes decide to relocate do you think Oakland would try to? Do you think Oakland would be a good choice for them to relocate to?
I'll go first. I'm going to quit it. Simply because we have one team here, the Sharks. And other than the loyal fan base and fans that they have, I just don't think hockey is a big enough draw in the Bay Area for two teams. Basketball, you can make a case. Absolutely. They could probably have two teams, and you can make a case that they do, with Sacramento only being like an hour and a half away. But the NHL, I don't think it's just not big enough in the Bay Area for two teams. So I'm going to quit it.
Yeah, so just to confirm, so are we just talking about the hockey, or are we talking both hockey and the WNBA?
No, the question was just based on if the Arizona Coyotes would be a good fit here in Oakland.
Hell no. Like the Coyotes suck. They suck ass.
That's irrelevant. Erroneous.
They're fucking terrible. You got a San Jose Sharks team here that has a huge fan base, even with the lack of playoff performance that they do. You know, you guys have loyal fans. You do. To put them in Oakland of all places, the Arizona Coyotes, which would probably be a step over Glendale or whatever the hell shithole they're playing in right now. Yeah, sure, but no, there's not enough. Look at San Francisco. They had the Bulls and minor league club, or ECHL, and that literally disbanded a season and a half later because they went bankrupt. That's exactly what would happen here. You're talking about the Oakland A's today getting 8,000 fans with the Yankees in town. Well, guess what? If the Arizona Coyotes are playing, you're going to be lucky to get 2,000. Okay. I calling that shot right now. I'm going to say, quit it, knock that shit off. Arizona is going to probably move to somewhere in Canada because Quebec City really wants their goddamn team back or whatever. So they're going to be probably going up north, and that's fine, but there's no way in hell it's going to work in a favorable position as any owner or the NHL to create a second NHL team in the Bay Area. It will not happen. It will not benefit them in any way. So knock that shit off.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep following suit because it's the easy choice, unfortunately. And I think, to echo on what a lot of you guys are saying, the reality is hockey is just not really that big of a sport in the States in general. I know that, if you look at teams, they do well, but especially in California, the Sharks are really on the back burner of everything else, especially in the Bay Area. They just don't get a lot of attention, and they have a loyal fan base for sure. They get a good amount of fans to games, but another thing that Ben said too, the Coyotes just aren't that good. Like, they're not. Yeah. And to think that they're just gonna start getting fans, I don't see it. I don't see it being a thing. And that's tough because all four of us here are all actually really big hockey fans, and I think we'd all love to see hockey grow, in California. But that's not gonna be a way for that to happen, and I don't think so. I'm quitting it. So, Cohoon, are you gonna give it a clean sweep here?
I'm only giving it a clean sweep on one condition, and that is if the A's don't move. I think if the A's do move, Oakland needs something to stay relevant in the eyes of the rest of the United States. Because there's people who go, hey, where is Oakland? Oh, where's Oakland? And it's like,
people already don't know.
It's people don't know exactly. So it's like, now Oakland's going to become a very irrelevant city in the whole eyes of the United States. And
you can't stop that though, because you already have San Francisco and essentially San Jose. Those are the two spots, like when you say you're from the Bay Area and you say, oh, I'm at so-and-so, where's that? In between San Jose and San Francisco. Oh, I know exactly where that is. If you say Oakland, they're like, what the fuck is Oakland? Oh, the Warriors?
Yeah. I thought that was Golden State. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be so? From what I'm seeing is, if they were to relocate, they would actually change the name. It wouldn't be the Coyotes anymore. They would move back to the Seals. And I think that'd be kind of cool to see.
That'd be cool. So they would have that history, but everyone knows these guys suck. Like, I'm sorry. But
And the
Right.
short seat seals, bro. Like this is cute.
Oh, for
Yeah.
God's
You're right.
sakes, man. Oh, my
So
God.
yeah, all full suit. I wanted to make sure I got a hit or a quit it where Ben actually was knowledgeable for once, and
Oh,
he brought up
man.
good points. So I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna quit it. I mean, I
He's flustered.
agree
He
with
doesn't know what to
everything
do.
Ben said.
All right. Is that it? That all? Everyone had one question each?
That's
Okay.
everything.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that wraps up the Hit It or Quit It segment for this evening's show. And as we're about ready to say our au revoirs, our goodbyes, we have our good old shout outs, which goes all over the place. So, boys, if there's anybody in particular, any people, any places, anything, now's the time.
Jason, we'll let the oldest go first.
Okay. Shout out my daughter. Rachel, she got her play, a part in her play today. So pretty cool. She's really driven about acting in theater. So it's really cool to see her be really excited about it, especially going back to school this year. And Nathan starts soccer next week. Again, he's really passionate about soccer too. So, and school's back. They're in full force. So shout out to them. Also want to shout out our teammate Sean on Friday nights. Her Instagram she was black and blue all up and down yesterday from softball apparently, and she's still gonna go out and play tomorrow night.
Yeah.
What a trooper. So
I thought she fell down 6 flights of stairs.
You're going to hell.
Yeah. John, we gotta make sure to save this clip so we can just show it to her particular.
I actually messaged her that off of her Instagram story. I was like, "Did you fall down 6 flights of stairs?"
She said no, but do you want to?
But she probably will too.
Yeah, right.
Sure, I guess I gotta step away for a quick sec. You
The
guys
show's
continue.
literally wrapping
I'll be right
up,
back.
bro.
I know. I gotta go. Sorry. I'll be right back.
Unbelievable.
He's got to go put more hair gel in his hair. He was messing with it all show.
Day night, huh? All right.
All right, Ben, do you want to go? You want me to go?
I'll go. I want to shout out all the firefighters right now that are battling all those wildfires right now. I know shit's crazy out there, and hopefully, they can get everything contained, especially up in Lake Tahoe, because I know that the smoke is so bad that it's off the scale that they gauge it off of. So it's that hazardous. So hopefully they can get that, going back to normal the way it is. And so, hoping they can get that under control in a timely manner. And it seems to be a yearly thing here. Also want to shout out Rockstar for that Rockstar that blew up in my car.
Didn't you already do that?
No. But good looking out. They sent me the vouchers.
Are you serious? They really
seriously. They sent me vouchers.
That's
5
funny.
vouchers, and so they're either good for one individual or a 4-pack of the cans. So I'm hunting down the 4-packs. I'm trying to get 20 rock stars for free. So good looking out there. That's awesome. And also thanks and a shout out to Rhino smelling salts. This shit's awesome. I highly suggest some people to use it. Not everyone, because it's not the most healthiest thing, but it smells amazing and really gets the people going. So no, those are my 3 shout outs, and I hope everyone has a great weekend. So Craig, your turn.
Okay, anyways. A couple of shout outs, both softball related. First one's a birthday, our good teammate
Christy. Yes, good job. Good looking out, Craig.
Okay, well,
Okay.
yeah, we'll shout her out, but also our teammate Chris from Friday nights, as well as Ben and I's tournament team. He had his birthday this past week, so shout out to him, happy birthday. And there were some lightsaber discussions going on between him and Ben that I won't dive into too much, but use your imagination as much as you like on that one.
It's a good time.
So and I also want to another shout out is actually one of our other teammates, Laura, who she was able to sub with us last Friday. Kind of, we needed a sub last minute, and Laura is, my God, probably one of the toughest people I've ever met, because all these injuries that she's gone through and everything, and she still plays. She got ran over in our tournament and still played through it. Found out that, man, I wish I remember exactly what she said, but she had like 3 ribs out of place. she still played that entire rest of that tournament and everything, and she's still banged up. She goes out there and she still plays all the time. So, geez, one of the toughest, like I said, one of the toughest people that I know, because she's out there playing no matter what. You could probably cut her leg off and she'll still go out there and play.
Oh yeah,
That's how much of
driven she is.
How driven she is. So shout out to her just for all that. So, but yeah, those are my 2 shouts that I got going. So Cohooney.
Yeah, and speaking of lightsabers, I bought my brother one for his birthday. He just turned 8 years old last Monday. So happy birthday to my brother Aiden. And then everyone here knows my mom was dealing with COVID. Well, she finally tested negative after 3 weeks of it. So that's good to see that my mom's.
That was a long time, actually. I was surprised how long.
Yeah,
she
had COVID for 3 weeks. She's not fully out of it though, because she has some residual effects. She's dealing with a little bit of bronchitis right now, but at least the doctors can actually treat bronchitis. Well, doctors can't treat COVID, so it's good to see that she's able to go back to work. My brother finally got to go to school, so that was really good to see. And then another shout I have is this guy I follow on Twitch, No Hitter. I got in one of his UFC breaks for people who like to collect actual real cards. Being a huge UFC fan, I wanted to actually get one once, and I actually got 2 really cool cards. This one is a tie-dye Justin Gaethje, which is a really cool card, and then I got Andrei Arlovsky. It's a signature card. So if you guys like anyone here who likes to collect actual real cards, No Hitter NGO-hitter is really one of the best breakers on Twitch to collect cards, and he's one of the safest ones too, because there's many scams out there and he's not one. So yeah, I'm shouting him out.
Nice.
Cool. Right on. All right, y'all. Well, that wraps it up for us. And yeah, that wraps it up. Another good show. Finally get back. Seems like when we have these long breaks, it feels a lot longer than it actually is. So, but glad to be back.
John doesn't shut up.
Oh, okay.
I'll get you. I'll make it look like a bloody accident.
Nice.
I'll get you, and I'll look like a bloody accident.
Nice used to play it. So, all right, boys. Well, yeah, that wraps it up. So we should be back on our normal schedule. We should have get our episodes back on the weekly on Thursday nights. And
next week should be a huge.
I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I believe we have a new episode of Jockberty coming.
Don't hold your fucking breath, fans. Do not. Like our 3 viewers, do not hold your breath for that.
3? We got 3 now?
Because Craig will probably have a makeup appointment or some sort of appointment of some kind, a waxing. I don't know. And so we'll probably have to skip our Jockberty again.
Sorry, I was waiting for like the 17 echoes to go through to really know if you were done or not talking. So, but anyways, I would hope we get that out to you soon. That should be coming before the next Thursday episode comes out. But
it's coming.
Hey, this guy sucks.
Who is that guy?
Joe Adele.
Joe Adele. Yeah. Who is Joe Adele? All right, boys.
I love his music.
We're out of here. Thank you all so much. I'm sorry, one more thing to cue out before. Thank you all so very much for listening. As always, if you're a first-time listener, we really appreciate you coming and stopping by. We hope we can have you come check us out again sometime soon. You can give us a follow over at YouTube, over at our channel at Sports Bets, but mostly Chaos Podcast. You'll get all the alerts, as well as all of our previous videos of previous episodes, as well as previous Jockberties. In case you're like, what is this whole Jockberty thing they're talking about? Give it a look, see. It's a little interesting. It's a little fun thing. You can see Ben.
Be disappointed.
You can see Ben suck really bad at sports trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, if you're on social media, because
consistent,
so many people are on social media, on Instagram and Twitter, you can give us a follow at SBBMC_POD. God, Ben, just think it's terrible.
Shit! Shout out to my nephew. His birthday's tomorrow. My sister would kill me if I didn't do that.
Kick save and abuse.
Kick save and abuse.
It was a glove save, baby. Happy birthday to you. I think you're 9.
What's his
I love you,
name?
Evan. I love you, Evan.
There
You're a
we
good
go.
guy.
I was like,
Yeah.
are you gonna shout out his
looking
name?
forward to celebrating with him on Saturday. But yeah, there we go. So kick Saban a Butte. There we go. All right, and
Jeez.
yeah, keep going.
So give us
Cut.
a follow, give us a like, give us some comments. We'd love to hear your feedback from anything and everything really that we cover on the show, or anything maybe you guys want to see on the show more, see less. We'd love to hear from y'all. So
Thank you.
anyways, boys, it's been fun. Everyone have a great night, have a good weekend, and we'll see you all very, very soon.